Let's be during the class trial. If you vote correctly, I'll punish everyone besides the... Oh my! Monami? You've ascended the ladder of a... Yes! One more time! Jeez! This will be my... It's useless. Please stop! You're right! Now's not the time for me to hoard. The victim this time is Nagito, who is attempting to reveal the traitor for everyone's sake. Who in the world killed him? I'm so curious!
If he was killed for trying to reveal the traitor, that traitor is obviously the killer. They were trying to shut Nagito up.
No, that might not be it.
Huh? Are you...
Wait. Don't say something so stupid!
Now that's more like...
Killer didn't take Nagito's mouth to shut him up. I'm telling you, they were torturing him.
The reason Nagito's body was covered with whoop.
It's because the killer tortured Nagito.
So that's why he was so beat up. What were they trying to find out by torturing him? Definitely the bomb's hiding place. If so, the suspect is whoever found the bomb first.
That was Fuyuhiko.
I found it by coincidence. There's no way I'd torture someone.
The killer didn't take Nagito's mouth to shut him up. I'm telling you, they were torturing him.
The reason Nagito's body was covered with whoop.
It's because the killer tortured Nagito.
So that's why he was so beat up. What were they trying to find out by torturing him? Definitely the bomb's hiding place.
Damn it! The killer didn't take Nagito's mouth to shut him up. I'm telling you, they were torturing him.
The reason Nagito's body was covered with wounds.
It's because the killer tortured Nagito.
So that's why he was so beat up. What were they trying to find out by... Definitely the bomb's hiding place. If so, is whoever found the bomb first.
That was Fuyuhiko.
I found it by coincidence. There's no way I'd torture someone.
The killer didn't take Nagito's mouth to shut him up. I'm telling you, they were torturing him.
The reason Nagito's body was covered with wounds.
It's because the killer tortured Nagito. The killer didn't take Nagito's mouth to shut him up. I'm telling you, they were torturing him.
The reason Nagito's body was covered with...
It's because the killer tortured Nagito.
No, that's wrong.
But Nagito's mouth was covered with duct tape. So if he was being tortured for information...
I'm prepared. I just
Trapped?
Stupid Haji. Like you said, if Nagito's mouth was taped shut, you obviously assumed he couldn't talk, right? But that was the trap. He wanted to hide the fact that he got interrogated.
But if you tape his mouth shut, how is he supposed to answer anything?
Pay attention, this is how it went. First, the killer tortured Nagito and got information about the bomb's location. Then, after they killed him...
Damn it!
Like you said, if Nagito's mouth was taped, you obviously assumed he couldn't talk, right? But that was the trap. He wanted to hide the fact that he got interrogated.
I can't back down!
But if you tape his mouth shut, how is he supposed to...
Pay attention! This first, the killer tortured and got information about the... Then, after they killed him...
Allow me to cut through those words!
No, there's no doubt Nagito's mouth was covered with duct tape before he was beat up.
What did you say?
Who cares about the duct tape? Might as well settle this with rock, paper, scissors. We don't need to play a game. It's clear the duct tape was on his mouth before the torture even began.
Why do you always side with Haji-Man? You have a crush on him or something?
You were with us when I peeled the duct tape off Nagito's mouth, right? The blood on Nagito's face wasn't under the duct tape, remember?
The blood on his face came from his arm wounds. Which means the duct tape was on his face before his arms were even wounded.
And the duct tape had a lot of... He must have been struggling to...
Perhaps the duct tape was used, so then it's like I said at the beginning.
However, if they wanted to seal...
They probably...
Then, are you saying the killer was trying to make him suffer? If so, it's friggin' crazy. Did they go psycho or something?
No, they didn't just go crazy. Whoever did this must be one crafty bastard. If not, they wouldn't have taken the time.
The where?
I can't think of it.
But who could have done... When the fire occurred, everyone in... Yeah, and right after I opened the warehouse door... Which means, it is...
The killer isn't one of us.
Even if it was only a coincidence.
Based on the pattern, we should suspect that some kind of... I do...
That's our Miss Sonia. Alrighty then. Let's think about this based on what Miss Sonia thinks.
Damn right! The direct cause of the fire was... the oil lighter found at the crime scene, right?
The killer used some kind of setup. He lit the curtain on fire with the lighter.
Some kind of setup?
Did they use the oil as an improvised fuse?
They probably just threw the lighter. Based on the shape of that oil lighter, it can stand upright while the flame is lit.
If they tipped over the lighter in some way, it could have ignited the curtain.
Some way? Maybe they used invisible thread.
There should have been a way to tip it over with sound waves.
Or perhaps opening the door caused...
I
I agree with that.
I also agree that opening the door is what—
Just as I thought! It was the wind pressure!
No, not wind pressure. A huge number of tipped-over Monokuma panels were found. It looked like they were scattered everywhere. Just a single line leading from—
Does that mean it?
The killer probably arranged those Monokuma—
A domino effect. You mean those tiles kids play with by
In place of those tiles, So when we opened the warehouse door, the first panel toppled into the second, and from there, they fell like dominoes until they reached the lighter at the end.
But wouldn't it be obvious that...
That's probably why they turned off the lights.
So the reason the warehouse was dark...
And one more thing.
I see! You're talking about that hymn blaring throughout the...
That's it. But those sounds weren't the only... Looking back on it, it was also strange when we opened the door to the warehouse.
So the door was being blocked by a Monokuma.
And when we opened the door, the domino effect started. Yeah, and that...
You don't look so
At the time,
Because the panel...
with the blocked doorway, there wasn't enough...
Is that a...
It's a major problem.
I see! If the panel was so close to the door that it could barely be opened, the killer inside the warehouse wouldn't be able to leave, right?
Now that you mention it...
Does that mean they were hiding inside?
Who? We were all outside the warehouse, you know.
Based on the patterns up until now, I believe some kind of setup was used. You don't have to think so hard.
You don't...
Hajime?
This is my answer! What if...
Why'd you bring him?
He wasn't just...
Huh?
not...
He was the victim.
Are you saying this was a suicide? His body was covered in torch... Are you...
But... not...
That's not the issue, even for a creep like Nagito.
Yeah. It seems we need to discuss...
Need... That's not necessary at... To actually tie up your own arms and legs. That's obviously impossible!
Tying just the legs is one thing, but... tying both arms would be impossible.
You couldn't do much with the free arm.
It'd be impossible if you were by yourself.
How about if you use your teeth? Or if you use your front tail?
Dirty joke! Is that a dirty joke?
To actually tie up your own arms and legs. That's obviously impossible!
Tying just the legs is one thing, but... tying both arms would be impossible.
You couldn't do much with the free arm.
It'd be impossible if you were by yourself. Crap! To actually tie up your own arms and legs. That's obviously impossible!
Tying just the legs is... tying both arms would be...
You couldn't do much with the free...
It'd be impossible if you were by yourself.
How
How about if you use your teeth? Or if you use your front tail?
Dirty joke! Is that a dirty joke?
To actually tie up your own arms and legs. That's obviously impossible!
Tying just the legs is one thing, but tying both arms would...
You couldn't do much with... It'd be impossible if...
How about if you use... Or if you use your...
Dirty joke! Is that a dirty joke?
To actually tie up your own arms and legs.
No, that's wrong!
Hold on a sec. Isn't that premise flawed?
What?
No, it shouldn't have been both. The rope on his right arm was completely burnt up.
That was just burned by the fire.
It burned because of the fire. Like you said, it might... But that was part of the trap.
I see!
Take a close look. Even though the rope was burnt up, a burn like this... That rope was burned in advance, so it...
Then Nagito's right arm wasn't tied up.
Yeah, that's...
Hajime, that's awesome!
I'll let you cop a feel if you want.
Akane, you should not give it away for free. Make sure they pay you first.
That's definitely wrong.
Fine. I just gotta get a Benjamin from him before I let him touch me, right?
That's not what I meant. I'm talking about Nagito. I mean, even if his right hand wasn't tied up...
It's impossible to stab a knife into your right hand.
Hajime,
You tricked me!
Hold on.
Then her...
If it's something lame, I'll make you give back the bit.
Even if Nagito's right hand was free, how could he stab his right hand?
if he threw the knife into the air and let the knife fall, could he stab his hand that way? Is he a throwing knife expert? Maybe he propped the knife somehow?
I agree with that. The life-size Monokuma plushie.
Makes sense. He inserted the knife handle into that hole to prop it up. If that's it, he had to place the plushie...
So the blood on the plushie came from Nagito after...
But for a moment, I seriously... A bleeding plushie is super scary!
After stabbing his hand, he no longer...
Probably thought the fire would have...
So what do you think now?
I get what you're saying about the wound on his right... The spear. Basically, if you think about the order, getting killed by the spear should have been the... If that's true, he can't grab a spear with his right hand if a knife is stabbed into it.
Then, he probably took the spear first, and as he endured the pain, he...
There is a If you got penetrated by something so big and thick, you would die instantly.
I'm sorry, I didn't catch all that.
Like I said, if you got penetrated by something so big and thick, you would die instantly.
Say it one more time.
Hey, bastard, you better...
Like she said, in that, it'd be hard to use a spear with a knife stabbed into your right hand, while your left hand is...
So you're saying it's
But no matter what I think, I can't believe Nagito's... To think that one of us could kill someone...
You say you can't believe it? But that's why you keep getting betrayed.
You just shut your mouth. It's against the rules if you even think about...
Monami sassing me!
But it's just as Monokuma said. We've been betrayed over and over again so far. This might also be the same. Calling this a suicide takes too much for granted, and it's...
Then are you saying there is a...
Of course that doesn't include...
As Kazuichi said, but even if I'm betrayed again, no matter how many times I may be betrayed...
I also want to believe that there's no...
Do you really think so?
But you said it too.
I did say difficult. I feel that there's... I don't know.
You don't know.
It's impossible to figure out by myself. That's how we made it this far up till now. Everyone working together.
right, let's do this.
How did Nagito stab himself with a spear? Let's work together and think this through. When the spear stabbed Nagito, his right hand was covered by the knife, right?
He was only able to move his left hand.
But his left hand was also tied up.
Then that rules out his left hand.
No, that's wrong!
Hold on. It's still too early to dismiss the possibility that he used his left hand.
Why? I mean, his left hand was tied up, you know?
But there was something off about his left hand. The bloodstain on the palm of his hand. Don't you think it looked somewhat strange? He only had blood on the lower area of his palm. Beyond that point, the bloodstain suddenly cuts off, right?
When the blood splattered, that's as far as it reached, right? That settles the description of that bloodstain, but it's not the only unnatural bloodstain. Look, there's blood on the back of his hand. Like you said, it looks like we might need to think and use if there's blood on his palm and the back of his hand. What was his left hand doing as...
I see!
When the blood splattered, he was probably gripping with his left hand. That's why there's such a strange-looking bloodstain on his palm and the back of his hand.
Was he grabbing his front tail? Perish the thought! Now that you mention it, compared to the rest of his body, the wounds on his... He probably made his wounds mild on purpose.
But even if he held the spear with his tied-up left hand, it'd be impossible for...
Hey, Chiaki, what... Hey, don't...
At times like this, you should always strike from a good angle.
Oh, I got it! Yeah, like I thought. However, what's important...
I see!
That's it. Instead of the hand, there was a metal weight at the tip of the cord. Plus, the joint between the weight and the cord...
Isn't the size of that cut-off
Ah, you're right. And then, the blood that was supposed to... ended up getting on Nagito's left hand.
But why is it so important?
You're not gonna say he gripped the tip of the cord.
That is where the clue to solve... I am sorry. Of course... It seems we are stuck. At a time like... How about we stick to... the plan to think...
That's a long plan.
One step at... Let's focus on the spear first.
How it was coming together! The spear impaled Nagito as he was laying face up.
Ridiculous.
If Nagito did that all by himself, that'd be awesome, but...
Nagito probably slung the cord. He hoisted the spear directly up. And if Nagito let go of the cord, the spear would have fallen and impaled him while he was laying face up.
I noticed a slight red streak on the ceiling girder. It probably got smeared there during the setup.
The blood on the cord probably... So, how about it? Using...
He... probably... If someone else did this...
I agree. When I was investigating this case, I kept thinking over and over how strange it was. Why did the killer use the knife and the spear?
So you're saying he needed to use that spear?
Then he really... Every single wound on his body.
Not just that, he did all that while he was gripping the spear? That spear should not have stabbed Nagito until the very end, which means Nagito wounded himself while he was...
Did he put the duct tape on his mouth too?
He probably covered his own mouth so he wouldn't...
Did he need to... That's beyond crazy.
He was probably trying to get us... by committing a suicide that looked like...
Did he want us to die?
That's messed up.
Yeah?
However, there is one thing whatever became of...
He was probably...
So why did he not, if he had no qualms with killing everyone?
I bet the bomb scare was part of this. He made us split up and search for a bomb, so he created a scenario.
He tried to make us doubt each other. And tried to hide the truth behind his suicide.
Did he cause a bomb?
He's a fucking bastard who killed himself for his delusions of
You...
Yeah. It appeared bastard Nagito committed suicide. It was all done by him. What?
No, I agree that Nagito... It's probably just... So what are you gonna...
What do you think?
Well, there's no doubt Nagito...
You are right.
Then that means we're done with this last... It's okay to read...
Then it's okay? It's understood.
No! Sorry, just a little more. I can't help but feel...
Like who the
But the issue here is who killed
That's...
The mystery isn't... No matter how you look at it, I'm a little worried, you know?
Hey, what do you mean it's...
There's just one thing that doesn't make... Plus, it's something even Nagito couldn't influence.
You're gonna keep going?
Crap! I see! Is it about the
Yeah. Huh? There...
this particular case is Monica.
Isn't that weird? Until now, the files always specified, but the cause of... The spear in Nagito's stomach. It is obvious just by looking at it that it was the cause of death.
Maybe it's not included if it's not important enough to write about.
Well,
I quit! There he goes again!
But even during Gundam's case, the thing he purposely omitted from...
are you saying?
Hold. Are you suggesting...
You guys were the ones who...
No, I don't think it's a but. Come to think of it, did Nagito really?
Are you sticking...
That's not what I meant. I mean...
Bad scent?
I just remembered that his malice always defied our... For example...
Huh?
Did Nagito's malice drive him to risk his life for a truth? I mean, this is Nagito...
Because you believe in... I see. I guess that's...
What friendship?
What should we do, you guys? I think we should keep going and...
You were right.
Just to be safe. Guess...
This is freak. If you guys say you're doing...
Hey, Monokuma! You heard...
We've come this far. Well, that's what I believe.
Oh, splendid. That's right. If
No, no!
Monami. By now, there's nothing more for me to say. Anyway, everyone is united against... That's why I will fight the only way I can. That's basic...
So if we're working together, where do we start?
Why don't we try removing all... In the beginning, our discussion advanced by assuming that it's better to confirm if there...
Other possible...
If something other than the spear killed Nagito...
That was definitely a gruesome wound.
If you think the cuts on his...
Are we finished all...
I feel like...
Then let's bring up whatever we can think of, one after...
Exactly! We... Let us consider a different fatal wound.
It's not the knife in his right hand. It's not the other wounds, right? With all those wounds, maybe he simply bled to death.
There's no way he burned to death. Was the cause of death something that cannot be seen?
If it's something that can't be... Maybe he choked himself with a sleep or liquefied his guts with a...
Just thinking about it, that's already a horrible death.
Let us consider a
It's not the knife in his right... It's not the other wound. With all those wounds, maybe he simply...
There's no way...
Was the cause of death something that cannot be seen?
Crap!
Let us consider a different fatal wound.
It's not the knife in his... It's not the other wound. With all those wounds, maybe he simply...
There's no way...
Was the cause of death something that cannot be seen?
I agree with that. That's it. I totally... If the cause of death was something we can't...
It is true that poison is not...
I remember. Inside the refrigerator, I found a bottle of Monokuma's special poison.
Poison?
Additionally, that's a poison made specifically for killing. I see. Now that you mention it, there's no way a toxin like that doesn't relate to the case at all.
If poison was the cause of death,
it would not leave an obvious wound on Nagito's body.
However, it's common for blood blotches to appear on a body that's been poisoned.
I see.
What does that mean?
But even if blood, there's no way.
Did he wound his body?
That's also a but still.
Both of Nagito's hands were full.
His left hand was tied up and gripping.
If it was a slow-acting poison,
No, the warning label on the bottle.
Then it's impossible.
And this is when the heart.
You're totally over.
His mouth was covered with duct tape.
if there's no way he could have drank the. Just kidding. It's not like.
Are there any left?
Hell no! No matter how.
Since we've already ruled out so many possibilities, it might be easier to think about what really killed him. Operation Elimination Method.
It's all coming together! What if instead of drinking the poison, we assume he inhaled it?
Inhaled?
It's written on the poison's warning label. Dangerous when vaporized. And a
Poison gas!
Breathe that poisonous gas.
I see! The sprinklers in the warehouse.
The poison gas just.
Well, of course, the chemical bonds that form the poison were also. The poison is apparently denser than air,
But Nagito was laying down, so.
if it meets the requirements that well.
Yeah, the true cause. The wounds on his body, the spirit.
So what?
Huh?
We figured out that in the end, it doesn't.
Nagito inhaled the poison he prepared.
Well, with this, we have a clear. All right. All the mystery should.
Well,
What? There's.
Hey, what happened?
There might have been. If Nagito committed, then why wasn't there anything that looked like if Nagito brought poison?
I see!
Are you talking about the container the poison was kept in?
Yeah. If Nagito brought it, it's true.
He can't carry around poison with.
Yeah, that was written on.
The container.
It's probably plastic or glue. Even the plastic fragments of the.
Then, does that mean someone...
So that's why you. I mean.
Even if he...
You're right.
Ah, you're right!
Right? Isn't it okay?
That's no good.
Huh?
I feel like by calling this Nagito's suicide. But if Nagito was here right now, he'd probably say something like, "So that's the extent of your hopes."
So Nagito's go. The power of friendship still. That's pretty messed up.
Shut up! You just be quiet!
I get what you're saying, but even if we solve this...
Even if there really like Fuyuhiko said earlier, it is.
But I just can't imagine ending...
It's fine, okay? And we probably just didn't notice it. Like maybe the container...
Huh?
The fire grenades! Nagito put the poison inside one of the fire grenades.
He used...
Yeah, the container with the poison in it wasn't sealed. Instead, it was in a container that didn't need to be taken away in the first place. As long as he put the poison in the same it can be hidden with the other fire grenades we used.
Bastard. He totally knew we were gonna throw those fire grenades.
Which means...
Yeah, that has to be...
When I first discovered those fire grenades, the canister was completely sealed.
You just have to peel up the...
That is...
Hold on.
Hajime.
If so, then there's no
Seriously? That's a...
Sonia's words are proof. Huh?
I can prove it with this! Take a look. We found this under Nagito's bed when we were investigating his cottage.
Huh?
No, the seal I saw on...
You found the aluminum...
There's more. He also found a gas mask.
Did he use the...
It's a dangerous poison after all.
So what? Nagito put the poison in the grenade, so in the end, he still...
The canister wasn't thrown away.
See? I told you.
I admit that there wasn't an accomplice. In actuality...
What did you say?
Hey!
What the?
Is this not settled? No, it's not... I'm sorry.
Realized what?
We know Nagito... So when was it deployed in the whip? When I thought along those... It probably...
I see! Are you saying...
Yeah. When we all threw the grenades to put out the fire in the warehouse, the poison was deployed, and it converted to poison gas and... If that is...
One of us?
One of us. Through...
Hold on a second. It would mean he didn't kill himself.
You said so.
You mean,
Do you...
who prepared the poison fire grenade?
I see! It was Nagito, obviously.
Then who set the warehouse fire that caused one of us to...
I see! That was...
Hey, how many times... The next question will be my last. Why did Nagito...
I see! Don't... He set the warehouse on fire?
He set the fire just so we'd put
It was a
trap?
preparing the poison. It was all a trap to make one of us throw the poison grenade.
Seriously.
I don't know.
Could it be?
This wasn't an intentional murder. And for that reason... He put the fire grenade that he filled with poison... Setting up a murder nobody can solve.
What the hell?
Nagito did not commit murder. To do that, he said the poison grenade and the fire were traps. That's what... All the fire grenades we threw at the curtain Because of that, Nagito, who was laying face up on the floor, and then...
Hold on! It might be the poison's fault he let go of the...
Even so, the
That's right! Nagito,
Are you... That was his even the wounds all over his body. It was all... His true goal was creating... He wanted to prove to us there are mysteries that just can't be solved with education.
he probably expected that his fake suicide. After all, a mystery that can be solved. However, he also prepared a mystery. As you solve mysteries and for those of you who believe there are meaning, he used all of the prior class trial verdict. Not all mysteries can be solved.
That's totally messed up. That's so fucked up.
It is my fault. Because I am so...
That's not the fucking issue!
It's not.
But what should we...
It's impossible.
Impossible?
Nagito wanted to create a scenario where we...
However...
That's right. There's no way he'd be able to figure that out. Monokuma doesn't know. This trial doesn't.
You know, I don't actually. I know perfectly well what I know. You used the bathroom 3 times yesterday, Sonia. And one of those visits seemed to take a while.
Please stop!
How can you be so jealous?
So, of course this...
Yes, he says. How the hell are we supposed to do that?
Is giving up all we... No. It's too early to give up.
Is there any way to figure out who the killer is?
Even though it's just a hunch, it's possible that it's probably... There's one way, I think.
Really?
Hey, is it alright if we look at Nagito's crime one more time from the beginning? I want to make sure my hunch is correct. Hajime, please.
Got it. everything that happened in this case. The person who actually arranged this incident was the victim, Nagito Komaeda. He kept a specific item inside his cottage that he needed for his plan. Monokuma's special poison, which he brought with him from the Octagon. Using the gloves and gas mask that he got from the military base, Nagito swapped the contents of a fire grenade he took from the plushie factory break room with that poison. When he did that, a specific item was left as evidence, the blue aluminum seal on the grenade. With that, Nagito finished making the poisoned fire grenade, took it with him to the factory, and put it back with the rest of the grenades in the break room. The next morning, Nagito appeared before us and declared that he hid a bomb somewhere. While we were looking for the bomb, that's when Nagito headed over to the goods warehouse. In order to set up a fire, Nagito arranged the Monokuma panels in a line going from the door to the curtain and placed an oil lighter in front of it. From there, Nagito set his insane plan in motion. First, he hung the spear that he took from Nezumi Castle from the ceiling girder by its cord. Then he tied his arms and legs at the back of the warehouse with rope. However, he burnt off the rope on his right arm beforehand. In doing so, he made sure that only his right hand was free, while his remaining arm and legs were tied up. As he gripped the tip of the rope hanging over the ceiling girder with his left hand, he lay down face up, just beneath the dangling spear. But this was just the beginning of Nagito's plan. And then, he did something no one could have predicted. First, he covered his mouth with duct tape, and after making sure he was unable to scream, he stabbed himself with the knife multiple times in his left arm and in both of his thighs. Finally, he propped the knife on the plushie and slammed his right hand onto the blade. He didn't just want us to think he was tied up. He also wanted us to think he'd been tortured. Through all this, Nagito never let go of the spear. His plan still wasn't over. In fact, it was just about to begin. Meanwhile, we finally arrived at the plushie factory and found Nagito's message. After seeing his message, we instantly made our way to the warehouse. But that was part of Nagito's plan. We opened the door to the warehouse, which inadvertently started the Monokuma panel domino effect. Panels fell one after another until they reached the lighter, tipped it over, and ignited the curtain. Shocked by the sudden fire, we rushed to the factory's break room to obtain some fire-extinguishing grenades. We then aimed for the fire's origin point, which was the curtain, and unloaded the entire supply. It never occurred to us that one of those grenades was the poison grenade that Nagito had prepared. The poison sank to the floor, instantly vaporizing due to the intense heat, and spread everywhere. The poison gas quickly drifted to the curtain at the back of the warehouse, where Nagito was. Also, Monokuma's poison has a unique quality in which it becomes heavier than air when vaporized. That poison gas completely surrounded the area where Nagito lay face up on the floor. There, Nagito inhaled the poison, and if it didn't instantly kill him, he certainly lost consciousness. Which caused him to let go of the rope in his left hand, and the falling spear plunged into his stomach. This is all the information related to Nagito's plan. His true intention was to set one of us up as the killer. At this time, we still don't know who the killer is, because the killer wasn't aware they killed someone. Try as we might, we cannot reach that truth. That was Nagito's trap. In conclusion, the fact that we can't determine the killer's identity. This should be the
How about it, Chiaki?
Just as I thought.
You say we...
What Hajime said is... Did Nagito? He said this to us. That feeling of belief is at the heart of his trick. He believed we'd notice the fire grenades. He believed we'd try to extinguish the flames. And he believed we'd fall into his trap. By believing in us, Nagito was able to put his life-threatening plan into effect.
What do you mean, believe?
And what's wrong with that?
There's one more thing, remember? Something that Nagito believed in from the bottom of his heart. I want you to try to remember what that is.
I see! Nagito believed in his talent as the ultimate lucky student.
Not so strange, really. Most of us here have been relying on the same thing.
But, in his case, it was pretty remarkable, wasn't it? It almost seemed like he had blind faith in it.
You're right. The same thing happened when he cleared the final dead room at the funhouse. But his luck doesn't have anything to do with the case this time, right?
I just thought it was strange that it doesn't connect to anything. He factored in his belief in us, but for some reason he didn't factor in his own luck. No, there's no way. I mean, this is Nagito we're talking about.
What did he do?
You know, he wasn't just after anybody. He probably had a target. A target he was aiming for all along. A person to set up as the killer.
A target? Who?
The target's true identity. Even Nagito didn't know it. That's why he relied on being the ultimate lucky student, and incorporated that luck into his plan. As long as he had his luck, he believed the target he was after would pick up the fire grenade.
You mean he left his plan to luck?
He risked his life for that?
He probably risked his life just so his ultimate luck could decide this.
Who is it? Who's the target Nagito is after? I see! That's it?
Then
Nagito didn't know who the traitor was.
Then...
So he was just bluffing.
That's probably true. By that point, his plan should have already been in motion.
But if he just wanted to out the traitor... Damn it! We're all in a...
It means he wants us.
By finding out who the traitor... That's something he...
Mon ami, it looks like you've...
And that concludes... Nagito's plan was to make the traitor kill...
The only thing we can...
If we don't...
But even if we... I mean, if we don't know...
You're absolutely right.
If... by chance... that would it have...
Huh?
But... they couldn't help it. Even if they wanted to reveal themselves, they couldn't do it. Because... they weren't created to do that.
What's wrong, Chiaki?
That's why...
You want us...
Yeah.
What?
Who do you think it is? Who do you think the future foundation's...
What?
A traitor who's not allowed to think that they're...
What?
A traitor who can only interact with everyone as a traitor.
Why?
Because that's the nature of their existence.
Seriously, what?
Who do you think? Hajime.
It's... you? Chiaki, you're the traitor?
Please! Hold on!
You totally guessed right. Just as expected, I'm the agent sent by the future.
Hey, Chiaki.
Chiaki is the... I'm sorry. It's the
Hey, what do you say?
What does this mean?
We were not... After all, we have been with Chiaki. That is all...
Please, wait! The future foundation...
Shut the fuck up!
No,
Why?
because we already know the killer, so the only thing left to...
Hold on! If you say you are the traitor, we cannot go until we are satisfied.
Hey, if you're really the
It's weird, isn't it?
It's definitely strange, right? Maybe... Hey, Hajime,
Favor?
I want you to prove to them that
What? What are you saying?
I want to explain everything to you guys, but that's why... I want you to do it.
Whether I can prove it or not, don't you understand? You may as well be asking me to kill you.
I'm very sorry.
Looks like it's not like I believe she's the traitor.
If she was just disguised or...
She's not disguised at all, 'cause... Chiaki...
Monami?
I'm not part of the same group as that... I don't know anything about...
Hey, Are you trying to...
I always... That's why I have no relation... Hajime, you're... Chiaki, I hate Chiaki. Hajime, you stupid face! Let's all get along. I won't let you. Let's all get along. First open and mix. I can't lose. Hajime, you stupid face. I won't let you. First open and mix. I'll lower your grades. Disappear. Hajime, you stupid face. Chiaki and I aren't best friends.
This is the end! When we investigated Nagito's cottage, I discovered a notebook. That's your notebook, right?
Don't tell me. Is that...
That's right! Since I knew...
Give me that note!
Is the traitor's idea?
Nagito was probably looking for that too. But you wouldn't know who the traitor is just by reading this note, however.
You know?
It took me this long. First of all, this isn't Monami.
Then the one who wrote the...
Someone connected to Monami.
If so, is this like a report that the traitor was sending?
Is it evidence that they were observing our actions?
But how would you know who the...
Because there's an entry written in here.
Damn it! Damn it!
In the notebook. There it is. It's true, but the only one who knew that. That's right. That's why Chiaki is the only...
There must be some... I mean, what was all that time we split that all?
Miss Sonia!
Chiaki is... She is being controlled by Monokuma. That is why...
I'm not... I mean, if you were the traitor, there's no way you'd...
Now that you mention it,
She tested it out right away.
That doesn't make any sense.
Chiaki probably knew the bomb was a fake.
Shit, that is a mistake! That must be a mistake! Why are you saying such things? Do you really...
Of course not.
I will not believe it! There is...
But then nobody...
Chiaki is not the traitor!
when we were trying to turn off the bomb, didn't Chiaki use the card reader right away?
If she's a traitor, she would have been more cautious.
There's no way Chiaki would have... If that bomb was fake or not! The only person who knew it was a fake was me, when I tried to detonate it!
Unless you know a whole lot about... There's no way you know if it's fake just by looking at it.
Chiaki is not the traitor!
When we were trying to turn... Didn't Chiaki use the card reader right...
If she's a traitor, she would have... There's no way Chiaki would have known if that bomb was fake or not! The only person who knew it was a fake was me, when I tried to detonate it!
Unless you know a whole lot about bombs, there's no way you know if it's fake just by looking at it.
Damn it!
Chiaki is not the traitor!
When we were trying to turn, didn't Chiaki use the...
If she's a traitor, there's no way Chiaki... That bomb was fake or... The only person who knew it was me, when I tried to detonate it!
That's not it! That's not it. Sonia shouldn't have been the only one who knew it was... Was also there when you said so yourself. Chiaki heard about it from...
Since I've been found out, the reason I couldn't tell anyone I knew the... I would have had to explain how I do not want to hear that! Enough already. I do not want this anymore.
Sonia.
And... does not mean we should... Even if she knew the bomb was fake, that does not prove Chiaki is the traitor! If that counts as evidence, I should be doubted too! After all, I also knew the bomb was fake! Even if she knew the bomb was fake, that does not prove Chiaki is the traitor! If that counts as evidence, I should be doubted too! After all, I also knew the bomb was fake!
Knowing it was a fake isn't the problem. What matters is who told her. What matters is that she heard about it from Monami.
There was someone other than me and Monami who knew that bomb was fake! That someone is Monokuma! Monokuma said so earlier, correct? He knows everything about this island. There was someone other than me and Monami who knew that bomb was fake. That someone is Monokuma. Monokuma said so earlier. He knows everything about Monokuma. Probably told Chiaki that it was fake beforehand.
You're right. But Monokuma...
That... Monokuma may have just been lost.
No, he won't lie at times like this. You already know that.
Hajime, are you going to believe...
That's...
It's just... Even if that basically just means...
That's not it.
Telling us to...
There's no way I can...
I'm telling you, that's not... We shouldn't believe in Monica. We have to believe in...
Huh?
It doesn't matter, even if Chiaki is the traitor. I believe in. But that Chiaki is saying she wants to protect us with her life. So the only thing we can do is believe... Damn it.
Hey, there's nothing to be sad about, you know? Unlike before, you guys can stay... Are you telling us to believe in you? I'm sorry. Monami, you're probably gonna get scolded by a lot of... But still... And...
It's not up to me to decide. However, I believe it's truly... We could even call this...
Hey, what have you two been talking about?
I know.
Hey.
You don't have to worry.
Damn it!
Why?
Even so.
Damn it!
Damn it.
Congratulations.
Damn it.
Damn it!
I'm sorry I didn't...
What?
That is... I'm so... 'Cause... Well...
Why?
Well... I'm so... That is...
Yeah. Like...
So...
Yes, indeed.
Are...
Huh?
Nope. Well...
Chucky!
Perhaps...
Hey, come on now.
I can't lose!
Huh?
I will no longer let this...
Stupid! Stop! What do you do?
As they say, we shall die.
What'd you say?
Huh? No. Phew.
I can't lose! If I don't beat you...
Stop it, I say! I'm sorry, I lose!
Hey, hey! I won't forgive you! I won't let you! Hey, hey! Ooh!
What?
Hey, hey!
Too bad!
That's wrong!
Damn it! Hey,
Could it be?
Hey, hey, hey! Hey, hey!
In the end, even if Monami risks her... So how about this? What's this?
I can't lose!
It's okay, Mon. Well, let's believe in... Right?
Damn it.
Please listen!
Like... This is bad.
Damn it! Yahoo! Shing!
I'm so...
Now then, I've prepared a very special punishment. Special...
Huh?
Uh-huh.
That is... You guys... I'm sorry about so many things. I'm sorry.
Just one last time. There's no need to be a hero. When you do that, you end up... But still, It doesn't have to be like, even if people don't acknowledge you, because if you can learn to love yourself, love.
Bye, everyone. It's okay. A shining future will always... It's true. 'Cause...
Bye-bye. Please don't forget about your teacher.
Let's give it everything we've... What? Phew! Huh? Hey! I shall now present... Whew!
Huh?
Stupid fool!
Hey, No! Hey,
Hey!
Yep. Yeah. Shing.
Well? Yep. Perhaps...
Listen well.
Huh? Damn right. Damn it.
Hey!
How unfortunate. Now then. Now then.
Well...
Please call me.
Hey.
Yeah.
You are a boy. I'm gonna do it!
Thanks for the food.
Dumbass!
Young master for you,
This is your leader's order. What? In the name...
Hajime. It's gonna be fine.
Is this a trip? Why am I...
It sure looks like a trial ground.
Huh?